Stampers, Jackie Bolhuis from Klompen Stampers. How many of you guys remember when I did a whole bunch of cards using this stamp set called Waterfront? Well, that was probably a year and a half-ish ago. This stamp set, oh my gosh, I had a blast stamping with it, and I did share a couple of videos with it. Now look at, Stampin' Up came out with another coordinating stamp set. Same concept, different images, a lot of parts and pieces that go together. And this one's just as awesome as that one. So I've got a couple of cards I'm going to share with you today, along with a technique that I use when I stamped with this one, and now I'll use when I stamp with this one. It just kind of changes the look of the image a little bit. It's super easy, and I think it makes you kind of feel a little artsy. Okay, for those of you that think you don't have art talent like me, it makes you feel like an artist. Now, I will have a link down in the description of this blog, or in the description of this video, to take you to the blog. And over on the blog, I will kind of go back and pull out the cards that I shared with this previously, along with the video that I shared with this one, and I'll have those on the blog post, as well as all the information about today's cards. I'll list all the products and supplies that I used, along with all the card measurements. So if you like today's cards and you like this stamp set, go ahead and order it, follow along, make these cards. If you don't have a Stampin' Up demonstrator, I would love to be your demonstrator. If you'd like to purchase anything, over on the blog there, you can click on any of the pictures of the products and go directly to the online store and place an order. Or up at the top, there's a place where you can request a catalog from me. I'd love to send you one if you don't already have a Stampin' Up demonstrator. Now, enough chit chat. Let's get stamping. I'm going to go ahead, flip this camera down, and we're going to look at the cards I have to share with you and show you some tips and kind of a lot of fun ways to make these cards just really come to life. So hold on one sec. Let's get started. Let's take a closer look at the stamp set. Like I said, it's called Snowfront, and this is in the holiday catalog. So once again, if you need a catalog, hop over to the website there, and I'd love to send you one. And then here is Waterfront. This is kind of where the craziness of this style of stamping and creating began. This one is also still available. It's in the annual catalog. Now, these two stamps just pair together beautifully. Now, let's set these aside, and I'm going to grab the cards I'm going to share with you today. I think I'm going to start today's video by just showing you them first. Here's the two different ones. Now, this stamp set, there's so many possibilities. I pulled out the birds and the deer. There's also a snowman and a little cabin up in the mountains, and you know, there's leaves, or a little stamp that you can make leaves to put leaves on the trees, and we can go crazy with this stamp set. But I kind of had to refrain and hold it back to just two cards because I really want to show you my trick for how I get more of a watercolor look out of these stamp sets. So let's set that aside. And I have a piece of cardstock here. This is the shimmery white because I am using an aquapainter with water in it. So anytime you're going to use water, you want to use either watercolor paper or the shimmery white. And I kind of like the shimmery because this is supposed to be kind of a winter scene, and I don't know if the camera picks it up, but it just has all kinds of shimmer and sparkles in it. So this piece is 4.5 by 3.25. Now, once again, over on the website, I'll have all the measurements and all the products and colors that I used here. Now, we are going to start. I have a whole bunch of pads here, and a lot of these stamps on blocks are ready for you. And we're going to take the one that's kind of a cluster of pine trees on a little hill, and we're going to stamp it there. And then here is my key. Look at the difference. This is the exact same ink, same stamping, everything. I take my aqua painter and I, make sure you've got some water coming out of it. And right after I stamp, I am just kind of blending out that stamped image. And that's what gives you that watercolor look instead of those kind of distinct lines. So we're just kind of going over it kind of sloppily, as I like to call it. And I thought we needed a little bit of brown in here. So I took this other piece. This is kind of a scene builder stamp set, so you can just play around with the different pieces. But I thought that kind of made that hill a little bit more so on there. And then there's lots of different sizes of pine trees. So we'll go ahead and we will put the larger single one. Just go on scrap paper there, make sure we got that soft suede off of it. And see how we can just smear that down. Gives it a completely different look. So if you want more of that watercolor artsy look, like I like to call it, I think this is what gives it to you. So there, we'll smear that one. And then there's a lot of ones here that are kind of designed to give you that snow down on the ground. So we'll go ahead and, let's see, we can go either direction. Let's go this way. And we'll kind of make some snow. And again, get that green off there because we're going to smear out this blue a little bit. Now, some colors tend to bleed and blend a little bit more. The blue's one that doesn't blend nearly as much as that green, but it does kind of soften those lines a little bit. Let's go ahead and we'll put some blue. This is just kind of the ground cover, I guess we'll call it. So we'll smear that out a little bit. You know, the key is do one stamp at a time and then bring that water in before it dries too much. And let's see, where's our deer? Let's go ahead and put these adorable little deer on there. Now the same thing, you can kind of watch the transformation. This one, I'm a little bit more careful because I don't want to go out of those lines too much because he is, or these deer are pretty small. And we don't want to end up just this big old brown blob. So we're just smearing out that stamped image. So there's our deer. Now let's go ahead and put some mountains in the background. We have the mountain stamp here, and I want these to be lighter because I want them to just kind of fill in some background. So we'll go on the scrap first, and we'll stamp once there, and we'll move it over to the right, and let's stamp it again. And then maybe we'll stamp it off twice to come over onto this side. So you can see how that just filled it up. Because it's so light, I'm not even going to go in and put the water on it because the blue, like I said, doesn't smear a whole lot. Then I've got a greeting out of, here's a card. Okay, this is in the annual catalog. And I thought this just kind of soft, serene look, it was perfect for like a symphony, I can't talk, sympathy, let's say that word right, card. So we'll go ahead and just bring this on like so. And there we go. Now when we come back to our finished one, you can see I just layered it behind a piece of black behind it onto a crumb cake card base. And then on the inside, I just finished it off by another stamp out of that here's a card, added a couple of trees. So this is shimmery white on the inside as well because we got the water going here. I thought the mountain just added a little bit, and then there's the rest of our verse that will work really nice on that card. Now, just for comparison, what I want to do is stamp this exact same thing here. Let's grab the same stamps. We'll do them in the same order, and I am not going to use water. This is kind of fun to show you the difference, what that water does and how it really truly makes this card look different. It's not hard, but it really added that watercolor. Oops, that should have been down a little bit further. Where'd our water one go? So you can see, okay, we're doing everything in pretty much the same order here. We're just filling this in, but it does give you a really good example of how truly different, and you saw how simple it was, how different it looks by, a little crooked there, but that's okay. Mountains are gonna look the same because we didn't do any water on them. But there you go. There is a comparison. Which one do you like better? Leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from my readers. Let me know if you like the one using the watercolor better or if you like this one. This is my preference. Once I started doing this, I don't know. I don't like this one as much. So now let's just take a look at the second card. This one, I did not use any water other than a little bit on this bottom piece. I wanted to keep it just real clean and crisp. I love this tree. I put the two cardinals up in there. Again, I used the exact same two stamps, the two verse stamps from Here's a Card, but I reversed them as far as one on the inside, one on the outside, and then just finished off the inside. So there we go, guys. There are the two cards using Snow Front. I'm sure you're going to be seeing more of these from me. I didn't even use the cabin or the snowman. fun stamp set. Lots of possibilities with all of these parts and pieces. Now make sure you hop over to the blog too, so that will take you to the information of all the cards I previously shared with that waterfront. I use the same technique. There's just a lot of different parts and pieces for a lot of different looks getting that stamp set. And I'm sure you could combine both stamps too and use all of them. So that's all I have. If you have any questions, as always, you know how to get a hold of me. Leave me a comment right here on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe too, as long as we're talking about that. Or you can go over to the website or the blog and you can send me a comment that way or email me. I'm here to help you with all your stamping needs. I love to share quick and easy stamping and teach you quick and easy stamping techniques. Quick and easy doesn't mean it has to look boring, okay? But we keep it quick and easy. So until I stamp with you again, have a stamp happy day.